Hello, welcome to Dong Nai Radio and Television Station. Here comes the news today. The natural disaster situation in the southern provinces in 2020 will have many complicated developments requiring synchronous measures, ensuring safety for people and minimizing damage. This comment is made at the Southern Disaster Prevention Conference organized by the Central Steering Committee on Disaster Prevention on 15th of June in Ho Chi Minh City. Mr. Nguyễn Đức Quang, Director of Natural Disaster Response and Recovery Department, General Department of Disaster Prevention, said, "For southern provinces, experiences and infrastructure to cope with storms are still limited. This is what needs attention." According to forecasts from now until the end of 2020, the situation of natural disasters and weather will continue to fluctuate unpredictably, in which the South may suffer from 5 to 6 storms, requiring localities to have many key solutions, actions to minimize loss of life and property. Particularly for Ho Chi Minh City, the center of southern region, the steering committee noted the city needs to strengthen research, improve forecasting and warning of natural disasters. At the same time, the city needs to speed up key projects on flood control and water drainage, ensure safety of electricity grid and urban greenery. On June the 15th, Dong Nai People's Committee Chairman Cao Tiến Dũng chaired a working session with Airports Corporation of Vietnam ACV and Vietnam National Petroleum Group to hear the proposals in investing in the system of upstream warehouse system and fuel supply pipeline for Long Thanh International Airport. At the meeting, Petrolimex presented and asked the Provincial People's Committee to allow the planning of upstream gasoline storage at the location of Gozo A Industrial Park, located along the Thị Vải River between Vidan Port and Phu Thai General Port, which has an area of 15 hectares. At the same time, he suggested the Provincial People's Committee and the departments and agencies create favorable conditions to support and assist Petrolimex in implementing the next steps in accordance with the planning and meet the overall progress of Long Thanh International Airport project. Concluding the meeting, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Cao Tiến Dũng, agreed on a policy for researching a watershed warehouse in Gozo Port area and a system of fuel supply pipelines for Long Thanh International Airport. However, on the safety side, it is up to the standards to comply. The Women's Union of Định Quán District has just coordinated with the Department of Natural Resources and Environment and the People's Committee of Ngoc Định Commune to organize a military response to World Environment Day 2020. The theme of 2020 is For a Green and Multicolored Planet, Biodiversity. World Environment Day has many meaningful and practical activities such as organizing integration of communication activities and responding to the movement, fighting against plastic waste, fighting ocean plastic waste, to mobilize the masses to clean up at residence and public places, strengthen inspection and supervision of collection, transportation and treatment of waste and garbage in the area. After the ceremony, officials of Ngoc Định Commune, departments, unions and people have cleaned Hoàng Yến flower painting on the road in Hoa Dong Hamlet. According to Yonhap, North Korea's military said Tuesday it is reviewing plans to re-enter borders areas disarmed under inter-Korean agreements days after the North threatened to take military action over the sending of leaflets by activists from South Korea. Our army is keeping a close watch on the current situation in which the North-South relations are turning worse and worse, and getting itself fully ready for providing a sure military guarantee to any external measures to be taken by the party and government, the General Staff said in a statement carried by the Korean Central News Agency. The General Staff of the Korean People's Army, KPA, also reviewed an action plan for taking measures to take the army advance again into the zones that had been demilitarized under the North-South Agreement, turn the front line into a fortress and further heighten the military vigilance against the South. It said, "We will map out the military action plans for rapidly carrying out the set options to receive approval from the Party Central Military Commission," it added. On June the 15th, senior leaders of the European Union and Britain agreed to add new momentum needed in post-Brexit trade talks, supporting plans to accelerate negotiations on future relations in this summer. In a joint statement issued after an online conference between British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, along with many other EU leaders, the parties agreed to add the necessary motivation to the talks. At the same time, support the plans to strengthen negotiations in July and create the most favorable conditions to reach an agreement before the end of 2020. The leaders also agreed to pursue the goal of finding a general voice as soon as possible about the main principles in the agreement. The UK and EU held high-level online talks in the context of the 4 rounds of post-Brexit negotiations, but there were little sign of progress. The two sides still disagree on a number of issues, especially the regulations for businesses. That's all for the news today. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.